What's going on, YouTube? It's Untitled back here with another video. Since there isn't much going on in MLB The Show currently as we await Extreme, Finest Cards, and the postseason program, I figured today would be a good day to make my postseason predictions for 2021. Now, I need to make a couple of things clear first. I'm recording this video on Wednesday, September 29th, so the wild card for the American League isn't completely settled yet, but basically everything else is, so we need to predict who's going to get in those two spots as well. And before you assume I'm biased based on picking someone that isn't your team, let me just put out there that I'm a Pirates fan. My team is far from the playoffs, so there is no rooting interest in these predictions. So before we do this though, get in the comments, let me know who you have as the World Series winner this year. Let me know what you think, and please sub to the channel if you are new for future baseball content. So with all that in mind, let's get into the video. Okay, so for the AL wildcard, at the time of recording this, the Yankees have a 2-game lead over Boston for the home playoff game. The other spot is down to Boston, Seattle, Toronto, and Oakland as of right now. Oakland is basically out of it, but not officially yet. These other three teams are pretty close, and I went with Boston, and here's why. I could easily see any of these teams making it in, but Boston plays Baltimore and Washington to end the season. Two teams with some pretty rough pitching staffs, and they can easily go 4-1 or 5-0 to get into that last spot. Toronto plays the Yankees for 2 more, and then the Orioles for 3 at home. They probably have the best chance to take over Boston in my mind, but they need to do this against the Yankees, and they were playing well right now. Seattle has the toughest schedule of the 3, which still isn't too terrible, but they get the Athletics for 1 more game, and then the Angels for 3. My concern is that they might not have enough pitching to sneak by the other teams in these final few games. So let's get into the actual games now. The first one is Boston and New York, which is most likely going to be Chris Sale versus Garrett Cole. New York has a lot of talented right-handed bats that would make me scared to even pitch Chris Sale in this game, and Cole showed his last time out that when he needs to win, he can turn it up a notch, and that is huge for his team. I have the Yankees taking that game in New York 8-4. And now in the National League, it'll be the Cardinals and the Dodgers. St. Louis is the hottest team in the world right now, but I don't know if they can get past this Dodgers team. I would think Max Scherzer would pitch in this game for LA, and the team is 10-0 since he's joined them in July. The Cardinals have won 17 in a row, but they would have to rely on either Jack Flaherty or Adam Wainwright to get it done on the road in Los Angeles. It'll probably be a close game, but I'll take the Dodgers in that game 4-2. The 2 divisional series matchups in both leagues are pretty intriguing, and I think they'll all be close. With the White Sox and Astros, both have decent pitching staffs and good offenses, and I think home field advantage will play a role into this series. The White Sox won one of the worst divisions in baseball, and although I could see them winning this series, I'm going to take the Astros in 5 games because of the inconsistencies that Chicago has had throughout most of the season. On top of that, Lance Lynn has been struggling and Carlos Rodon has mild injury concerns, so the Astros could go up early in this series at home. I'll take them in 5. The other matchup is an AL East showdown versus the Yankees and the Rays, which we saw last season in Petco Park. The Yankees have a lot of firepower, but the Rays are such a good team all around that it's hard to not go with them. The Rays don't really have the superstar starting pitcher like Garrett Cole, but they have talent to balance it with a good bullpen. They don't have the names of the Yankees lineup, but Arozarena, Wendell, Lau, Nelson Cruz, Mike Zunino, these names get it done. The Rays have home field advantage in this series. I'm taking them in 5 games also. Over in the National League, we have the Braves versus the Brewers and an NL West battle, Dodgers and Giants. The Braves aren't a bad team by any stretch. They have a solid lineup and decent pitching, but Milwaukee has a chance to overpower them in the first 2 games with Brandon Woodruff, Corbin Burns, and their excellent bullpen. Both those guys can be in the top 5 conversation for the NL Cy Young this season, and with it being a best-of-5 series, I have them winning the series in 4 games. Dodgers and Giants are 2 very close powerhouses, and this series can go either way for sure. Both teams win over 100 games and do everything exceptionally well. My concern for the Giants is the Brandon Belt situation. If he is indeed out for the playoffs, that will have a big impact on the offense against the best starting rotation that baseball has seen in a few years. Max Scherzer, Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, Julio Urias are all very good options every day, and I think over the course of a series that can cause the Giants to fall to them, even though it's been so close all season with the Giants ahead. On paper, this is the best division series matchup we can watch, and I have the Dodgers winning in 5 games. Moving on to the League Championship Series, who's going to win the pennant? Let's start with the ALCS, a rematch of last season. I'm a firm believer that pitching wins championships, and while the Astros have some young talent like Luis Garcia, I just don't think it's enough to get past the Rays. The Rays lineup is also good enough to help the pitching out because they have constructed a roster that is good on the pitching side, is good offensively, is good in the field, and I think that balance will push them into the World Series for the second straight season. Now, the National League for me is basically the same philosophy, and by the way, these games are going to be extremely exciting to watch because we get to see insane pitching matchups basically every game. However, the Brewers lineup this year has been spotty. They don't score a ton of runs compared to the other playoff teams, and I think that will hurt them against the good starters from LA that I mentioned earlier. The Dodgers lineup is also stacked to where they can put a lot of pressure on Woodruff and Burns, especially when they face them multiple times in the series. Both teams are strong, but I'm going to go with the Dodgers to win this series in 6 games. Go ahead, call me boring if you wish. It's a rematch from last season. I think these two teams have the best shot of going back to the Fall Classic based on roster construction and the specific path to the World Series. I got this prediction right last season, and I look at the teams this year, I think we almost have the same story going on here in 2021. Both places are going to be rocking since fans are back in their home ballparks this year, and I can see the series going either way because both teams are that good. Whoever gets out to a lead in these games has a really good chance of finishing out for the W, and I think it could go back and forth in the series. Because of just how insanely good the rotation is for the Dodgers, I'm going to pick them to repeat in 6 games. Yes, it's the boring pick, but I truly believe that this team is special because, and I can't stress this enough, pitching wins championships. So there you have it, guys, my predictions for the 2021 Major League Baseball postseason. Let me know what you think in the comments below, hit subscribe if you're new, and hit the notification bell so you'll know every time I upload. I hope you guys enjoy watching this playoffs as much as I will, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace out.